Hello. It is Fabian Williams, marriage and family therapist and licensed professional counselor, here to talk about trauma. And I know you're asking, why would I be so excited about talking about trauma? But trauma is my specialty. It is where I love to live. It is where I love to work with clients and all of that. So, in my practice, Life Anew, I love when someone comes with trauma because I know that we can retrain the brain. I know that trauma at times has taken over, but we can retrain the brain. There are things we can do that can retrain it. I am also a trauma survivor, so that I guess that adds to the love, knowing that there are things that I can do on a regular basis that help me to be to help me to thrive and not just survive with that, not be a victim of the traumatic experiences that I've had for the rest of my life. So, with that, I want to talk about PTSD. First of all, post traumatic stress disorder. Everybody uses it. Some people overuse it. Let's be real. And everything is not trauma, but some things are trauma that don't look like trauma. When I am teaching my clients, when I'm using psychoeducation and teaching them about trauma, if this is fitting, then we want to talk about it. And I use the acronym RANCH. Ranch is my acronym. Yes, like ranch dressing. My kids love ranch, so we always have to have ranch around the house. But ranch is good for me because it helps me to remember when I'm seeing someone who may have some level of PTSD, PIST, whichever type of traumatic diagnoses, disorder, whatever. If it's not a disorder, it may just be something that was so traumatic that we can use some resourcing to help with that. So when I'm seeing somebody ranch, the R is re-experiencing. The A is avoidance. The N and the C are negative cognitions. And the H is hyperarousal. So those are the things you want to think of. So when I'm talking about re-experiencing, that's the dreams, that's the flashbacks, that's the experiencing that thing, that car accident over and over and over and over again, or whatever the situation was. Avoidance is avoiding anything similar to, anything that reminds you of. Something that was similar in my area of abuse was total serial. I know people are like, total serial, really? Yes. Total serial was in the space that I stayed every day when I was abused, and I could not purchase total serial. So that was me avoiding that thing, not knowing that I had been traumatized. And then negative cognitions is that thought that it was my fault, or why did I survive? That survivor's guilt. The negative cognitions is I should have done something, shoulda, woulda, coulda, didn't, right? All of those things that we know are not real and not pertinent, but we hold on to those lies despite the fact that we know better. And it lives within us. It really takes over. And then finally, hyperarousal is being startled at anything. Those people who come home from war and then can't go to fireworks and things like that. So that hyperarousal, everything is startling. Now, these are also true of abuse survivors. So we are right here. Like, everybody thought that PTSD was things that you experienced when you went to something major like war or an earthquake or something like that. But abuse survivors, neglect survivors, those type people are also traumatized. These individuals on these streets who are seeing these shootings and violent acts and things like that can be traumatized. Everybody will not have PTSD, but you may find yourself falling into some of these categories of ranch. What can you do about it? Because I'm always about what you can do about it more than I am, oh, this is what you have. No, we're not doing that. So what can you do about it? I have an entire video, actually 4 of them. I made a series on therapeutic resourcing. And some of those resourcings are things like grounding techniques, that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5 things I see, 4 things I hear, 3 things, and I'm messing it up, but using those 5 senses and going down and bringing yourself back to the here and the now. Grounding techniques are great. Putting your feet in the grass, touching the ice and the snow that's out there right now. Yes, I know we don't want to touch it, but that is one. Breathing, deep breathing. Using music is one. Bubbles is another. Bubbles is my love. My love is Bubbles because it has so many therapeutic properties. For example, the mindfulness, the breathing that you have to do to blow the bubble, all of those things. Dance, incorporating your body into the practice of bringing yourself back online, bringing your prefrontal cortex, because that's what happens. You go into your parasympathetic, sympathetic. So you go into your sympathetic nervous system when you're in fight or flight, when you're like ready to go to war. And you go into your parasympathetic when you're into the calming. Now, that can also go too far. Parasympathetic can go to numb, but we don't want that. But we do want to take that sympathetic, that power. I gotta fight. I gotta flee down a bit. You are heightened or activated. So we want to bring you down to a calm state. And that's what these things do. How about math, spelling, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing? Spelling backwards is really a good one. Any of those things that make you think, that make this come back online. Because when you get into fight or flight, this goes offline and you go straight into, we got to go to war. So with that, I am Fabian Williams, marriage and family therapist and licensed professional counselor with Life Anew. And make sure you subscribe, follow, all of that good stuff. Please, please, please. 10 followers. And if you find that you are in need of some level of care, feel free to reach out, www.lifeanew.com. Have a blessed and beautiful day.